Should playing hybrid be a bannable offense in Apex Legends? Hybrid's playing both mouse and keyboard and controller in the same game. For instance, you go into a ranked or pubs match and you're swapping between mouse and keyboard and controller within that match. Should that be bannable? According to the comments on a recent video I made about the subject and showing how I do it, it should. In fact, they said that I should get banned. So I'll be going over some comments and reading them because it was kind of funny to me, but I don't understand how that can be said in the first place. Like, controller and mouse and keyboard are both used on PC, and there's no problem. There's no separation whatsoever. But the moment a player uses both in the same match, they're cheating. Like, someone make that make sense to me. And I get in LGS, you aren't allowed to use hybrid, but you also aren't allowed to, you also aren't allowed to use heat shields and other things and Chronuses, which they're finally cracking down on in other games right now. In any case, let's go ahead and read some comments that were somewhat funny. Having the long-range precision of mouse and keyboard and close-range beams with aim assist doesn't sound fair at all. If aim assist wasn't so strong, it wouldn't be a problem. That's the funny part to me. If aim assist wasn't so powerful, which you can't say it's not, bro, because how are folks going to have a problem with me playing hybrid, and in the same breath they'll be like, aim assist does nothing, it's not even useful. Then why does it matter if I play hybrid? If anything, whenever I'm playing controller, in their eyes, I'm putting myself at a disadvantage. But they actually know how strong it can be. Probably because everything in the game is easier / better on PC. You can use controller on PC, but carry on. Gunplay, so switching to controller for the single time you could have an advantage, I too would consider it cheating. Like, bro, I find that funny. Like, people will sit there and say that controller has, it's just like the worst input, no one should ever play controller, when the top like 5 PC preds, last I checked, it's been a little bit, were all control players on PC. So it just really makes you ponder where these people are really living in terms of the echo chamber. Like, who are they talking to that are reaffirming these like actual crazy lies? Just preposterous falsehoods. I got the words on deck, bro. That's all I want to say. This is a very true comment right here. Bro, there's like a list of things better on mouse and keyboard and for a majority of players, but none of them involved a huge advantage in getting kills. Yeah, exactly. Like, mouse and keyboard has way more advantage over controller than it does vice versa, but it doesn't matter. Wait, open that. But none of them involve a huge advantage in getting kills. I'm really tired of people acting like shredding from 50 meters and closer isn't a massive advantage, actually really annoying. No reason I should have the same KD on controller with 1/10 of the hours I have on PC. They need to absolutely nerf controller on PC or lock the inputs when you start the game if everyone wants to lose their shit because someone's using... No. That was a great comment until the very end. How are we going to lock both inputs? Why should I be penalized because I can play both inputs well? And I already did play controller only for a while. I went from bronze to master using controller only. I wasn't playing hybrid ever. I just used controller. I can play both. But with that being said, I can also abuse both. And if you're going to make controller this powerful, like, it has consequences. There's no reason you should lock inputs. That's just saying that if the game locks inputs in pubs and in ranked in Apex, that shows they know aim assist is broken, but they don't care. And that's sad. If that's what happens, then the company itself, the folks who balance the game, are sad individuals, and they shouldn't be in charge of the system. Like, really, because how many folks are playing hybrid in the first place? Let's be real. Because professionals don't, because they're not allowed to in like the pro league. So it's just folks like me who are like slightly above average, who are going to be dunking on some people. You could just get good and skip all the hassle. The worst players say that, bro. It's so annoying. Like, the most common phrases I hear that are just from like the worst players ever, like stop crying, which can be a phrase they use when you're giving like valid feedback, which makes no sense. Just get good, when it's like, chances are I'm 10 times better than you. Like, my worst clips are better than your best clips. And I know that sounds like a huge ego thing, but it's just the reality in some cases. The worst players say that stuff because a good player can give feedback. They can have a conversation. Where's the conversation right here? What's the conversation? So I just said there's no beating soft aimbot plus good game sense. And that's fair. That's valid. Just use one or the other. It's not that hard. I mean, I could just use both. It's easier that way. Like, just use one or the other. Why not use both? Using both is actually a greater skill cap too, because now I have to think about when to use controller, when to use mouse and keyboard. I have to be able to swap between the both of them quickly. Like, that just makes me a better player. I wish I could use mouse and keyboard on console. I think that console should have the ability to use mouse and keyboard, but if they plug a mouse and keyboard into console, it just puts them into PC lobbies. I think that most folks would say that's fine. But knowing Apex, that would open a hole or like a wormhole into some crazy glitch or exploit that people would abuse. Like, that's how Apex runs, bro. This is the most tryhard thing I've ever seen. No, the most tryhard thing I've ever seen is using controller on PC because it's that powerful. Like, only just like mainlining controller. That's the most tryhard thing I've ever seen. Because it's actually difficult to get good at mouse and keyboard. At least it was for me. But nowadays, folks don't have to do that. So you have the convenience of getting basically soft aimbot with controller, and the convenience of that just doing a lot of the work for you. So you can just grind for hours. In my case, if I get bad sleep, if I'm just not feeling good, my aim sucks. It's not a good time, but that's just the reality of having just human raw input when you're aiming. You better get banned. That's a little much, guy. All these people are salty because they realize that they actually do have an advantage with AA. If they didn't have any advantage, there would be zero reason to get salty from someone using hybrid. Exactly. No one's mad and aim assist that powerful. Wait, no one's mad and aim assist isn't that powerful. No one's mad, really. Go into an aim trainer and put hours in if you're bad, because that's all I'm hearing. That makes no sense, bro. Yeah, let me just go ahead and I'll just bust out control and I'll one-clip folks who are better than me at the game. That's the reality. I will legit destroy folks who are better than me at Apex because I'm the controller. I'll destroy control players who are better controller than me, but they just get out-aimed because for some reason, in some cases, my aim assist does more work than theirs in that situation. But yeah, I just need to go aim train. Like, these people are Muppets, dude. Like, who even, like, what? Just play the game. You don't need to aim train to get better at aiming in an FPS game. In Apex, especially right now, just go play gun run. Just go play gun game. That is the best training you can get. You're practicing both movement and gunplay at the same time. An aim trainer, like, what? That's just full on Muppetry, bro. Y'all need to escape the Muppet Matrix. You're stuck in there. It's not healthy. The comment section is funny. I think it's a brilliant idea, and I've tried it way back when the game first came out, but I suck at both, so good to know the concept actually works. One of the issues I found is when I put it on my lap and I get too heated, it drops and messes with my inputs like analog or triggers. That's happened once to me. Normally, I'm pretty good about it. If I had bigger legs, if I get tree trunks as legs, it'll just have a shelf to rest on, and I'll be cracked. I'll have the most stable shelf for my controller to rest on. But yeah, all the arguments when we talk about AAs, stop bitching MK superior since they have movement, yada yada yada. Switch to controller if you think it's so broken. Now you've done this, the comment section is mad. It's like, that's the thing. If you're a mouse and keyboard player, you're like, yo, controller's broken. Just play it then if it's so broken. And now that I play both, they're mauling. They are absolutely, like, they're foaming at the mouth, frothing at the mouth, because I'm playing both. It's like, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm not just going to play controller. Why would I just play controller when I can just play both? Like, I actually took the time to get good at mouse and keyboard, so I'm going to be using both inputs. You chose to just use controller because that's all you wanted to be good at. It's fine. I got good at both because I grew up playing controller, and then I learned mouse and keyboard, which sucked so bad. I hated it so much. When I first learned mouse and keyboard, I wanted to return it, my PC. Like, I just got for my birthday, right? I was like, I turned 15. My dad's like, hey, son, here's a PC. I was like, poggers. And folks hate when I say that word, and it makes me laugh when I say poggers and they get upset. Like, it's a word, y'all. Anyway, I played Battlefield, and I was so bad at shooting, at just playing an FPS, I wanted nothing to do with my PC. I was like, there's no point in having this. I'm just so trash. I'll never get better. Well, I played PvE games, I got better, and I progressed, but it was awful. So I just find it funny that these people don't want to go through that, which not everyone does. Some folks are like, I got good at PC in 4 days. If that's true, good for you. It took me years. I'm still not that good, and according to some folks. But I find it funny that now that I have that experience and I'm playing both inputs, people are getting salty, even though they're the ones telling me, if it's so broken, just use it. And I do, but they don't like how I'm using it. That's the reality. Too trash to play on just one. That's the dumbest comment I've ever read. Too good that I'm better than you on both. That's a roast? Good job, Doe. What kind of idiot comment is that, bro? I got masters playing both mouse and keyboard and then controller separately. I could probably get pred playing on hybrid. I just don't want to play every single day. Like, Apex ranked has always been, and it's gotten really bad recently, but it's always been about time investment. Really bad players can get pred. Really bad players, because bad players can get masters. Bad players can get any rank in the game. It's about time investment. I'm not going to sit there investing time for a badge that people will invalidate based on the season you're in. Oh, you're season 12 like master of pred? Huh. You're not season 13? Trash. It's like, why? You want aim assist gone, and we want tab strafing gone. I don't want aim assist gone. I want it nerfed. I want it balanced. And at a certain point, I was fine with tab strafing getting removed. At this point, why not just give controller on PC tab strafe? They could easily do that. As far as console goes, console players, I'm sorry, but if they can't give you tab strafe, like it doesn't matter, because you do not have to play in my lobbies, as in PC lobbies. You have your own lobbies to play in. There's no reason that I should be penalized because you can't have something that I have. But at the same time, you get your own casual lobbies that you can dumpster people in and have fun. And I'm playing in sweaty Sweatski McGee lobbies on PC. Like, you have your own console lobbies. You can be there. You can be square. Like, you can just chill. But for some reason, we have to remove so many things from Apex because console has the option to play in PC lobbies if they're in a PC player's party. And that somehow makes it to where I just get rolled, and like the fun things that I enjoy get taken out of the game. What are you on about? Just because they decided to run controller doesn't mean they rapidly improved. Imperial How, one of the top Preds, struggled for like 12 games. I doubt that. People just say numbers that have no quantification or validity to them whatsoever. I doubt that highly, until he figured it out and then called it easy. He was a control player growing up. A lot of PC players that say aim assist is broken as hell were control players. I played console for 9+ years. Aim assist has existed in FPS games for a while, but rotational aim assist is a newer thing, especially to the power it is right now. Like, new games that come out that are FPS, they have to nerf that stuff off the bat because it's like, this is too high, too powerful. Yeah, you're giving players soft aimbot. You're making controller just absolutely broken. Look at the Modern Warfare 2 beta. Look at the folks playing controller in that game. Try playing that game on mouse and keyboard, and then look at the folks playing it on controller. It's crazy, the night and day difference, because the visual clutter makes it impossible for M&K to actually do well. On controller, you don't have to see what you're aiming at. I don't play on mouse and keyboard because of the impossible movements and the fact you get your entire arm to aim. That's why you don't play on it. Yeah, I don't use controller because aim assist is so powerful. No, I do use it because it's so powerful. Like, that's such a dumb argument. What? I don't use this because it's really good. That's another thing that always baffled me. Like, let's say like someone points out a broken thing in a game, and then they use it, and then folks are like, imagine saying it's broken and then using it. Why wouldn't I? If I'm saying that something's actually broken and super powerful, I'm gonna use it. Unless it's like an exploit, I'll get banned for it. But aside from that, I'm gonna use the very powerful item or very powerful thing in a game, mechanic, because it's powerful. It's so ignorant to be like, you can't say it's powerful and then use it. Yes, I can. Why wouldn't I? This is funny though. The fact you get your entire arm to aim instead of just your thumb. I'm not following any streamer or YouTube creator in my opinion. You don't have to. If you're so bad you have to bind key combinations you haven't learned, I could go in the game right now and show you how to bind it. Actually, I'll probably do that for the vid. Like, this is how you tap strafe. It's very simple, not rocket science. Please, please, actually don't think for yourself, because you're showing that you can't do it properly. Thinking for yourself requires actually using knowledge and not just these falsehoods you hear from the internet, which in your defense, they're everywhere. Lucky Chappie is an absolute plague on Apex. The things that I hear from his kind of audience blows my mind. They have no idea on what the game is about, and they're just there. They don't offer anything to the conversation. They just repeat the same stuff. They all say the same numbers too, which is wild. If you're gonna copy someone's homework, change it a little bit so that I can't tell you're plagiarizing instantly. Like, try and be creative. They can't even do that. Just playing on easy mode with cheats active. Where's the fun in that? I played 4 games, 2 on keyboard and mouse, and 2 on controller, and I got number 1 in pubs twice. With just keyboard and mouse with these broken macros, so I'll never use it again. I didn't come to play COD. I came to play a game that requires skill from those whom don't cheat. COD is actually... a COD could be a sick game. I just don't like the gunplay. Like, if Apex had like a lot of COD mechanics, or if Apex had a lot of Warzone mechanics, like a better respawn system and buybacks and like Rebirth/Resurgence Island, it'd be so much fun. But as far as these macro things, are you saying that you use macros in Apex? I don't know if that's a good thing to be saying, bro. Like, there's a couple macros that I could give you a pass on. Recoil macros are not a pass. And scripting's not a pass. Like, macro is like binding 2 things to do 1 thing. It's not a big deal. Like, obviously, it takes less skill. It's not ideal. But Apex has aim assist, so I don't care. Like, if you use that, fine. Who cares if you got first? You can get first with 0 kills, 0 damage. I don't care. Like, it's so hard to quantify how good a player is, especially in Apex, because the game will give you bot lobbies. Let's say like one of these controller players goes on PC, right? And they play their first matches on PC, and they get like a 4K, a 20 bomb. That was so easy, bro. Mouse and keyboard is so easy. You're playing against actual AI. You are playing against the freshest, the homegrownest of cucumbers. These are vegetables. They are not real people. But they'll do that and be like, mouse and keyboard is so easy. Bro, if mouse and keyboard is so easy and it's so powerful, has all these advantages, why in the world would any PC player use mouse and keyboard over controller? Why in the world would professional mouse and keyboard players swap to controller at the highest level of play? Why would that happen? But guess what? Logic is not found in this community. Logic is not found in gaming communities. That's why games themselves run themselves into the ground. Like really popular games will somehow run themselves into the ground because the player base is lost and the folks who run the game are lost. In this case, a part of the community needs to actually learn. They need to figure it out. To a certain extent, I actually don't mind controller that much, but I can't stand folks who can't recognize how powerful aim assist is, because I can recognize all the advantages of mouse and keyboard. I can list them to you. There's a lot of them, but it doesn't matter when controller is as strong as it is. When controller can be the #1 pred, when controller can be played in the highest level of play in Apex, it really says something about how powerful the one advantage controller has is. But folks won't talk about that. It's wild. Just choose one input like almost every other person that plays the game. You're not special. I mean, I feel like I am kind of special because I can play both. How would it not be somewhat interesting to watch a player use both inputs? Because now I actually understand both sides of the argument. Now that I can play both inputs in the same game and do well on both. In some cases, sometimes the M&K aim is off like crazy, and same with controller. Like, I'm not gonna hit every single shot on controller, but it's just funny that this is the viewpoint people have. They'll tell you all day, if controller's so broken, just play it, just play it, just play it, and then you do, and then they don't like the way I play it. So now I'm a cheater. Now what I'm doing is bannable. Now I'm just some like hacker mans who shouldn't be allowed to play the game. Now, after all that rambling, please know I don't despise control players. A lot of my good friends are control players. We get along just great. And the majority of them actually recognize how broken this stuff is. And when I'm playing with people, I try not to bring it up because I have been annoying in the past. Like, I'll give you that, right? Like, nobody wants to hear a complainer, which I have been that in the past. I'm working on not being that. This video was facts, though. You can call this whatever you want. Stop crying, stop complaining. Dog. This was nothing but facts. If you don't like that, reality's not your friend. And that's just how it's going to be. But you got to get over that because this was a reality check for some of y'all. This was some top tier content. All right. If you liked it, leave a like, leave a comment. And should I get banned for playing hybrid? That's the question of the video. And have a good day. Peace.